All right, welcome to the third installment of the Twisted Glass podcast. Is it third or fourth?
Third, take 5.
Third, take 16.
Do you really not know what?
I don't remember numbers. I'm sorry.
This is the third episode.
This is the third episode. Truly the third episode.
1,
the
2,
Twisted Glass.
3, A, B, C.
Yeah.
Like an apple, banana, pear, man. Come on.
Apple, banana, pear?
Yeah, apple, banana, pear.
Do you not know your... That's Austin over there telling me that pear comes after banana.
I don't know how fucking
And Howie.
fruits are numbered.
Hey. Apple, banana, pear, though. Like,
Yeah.
apple, banana,
Please explain to me the
coconut.
fruit alphabet if it's not apple, banana, pear.
Apple, banana,
Cantaloupe.
cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe?
What now?
And then what?
No, let's roll that back.
No, no,
Did you
keep
say
going.
cantaloupe?
Yeah, how are you supposed to say it?
Cantaloupe. You don't put the emphasis in the t.
I'm sorry.
I can't say
Yeah,
anything,
you
right?
emphasize her.
You emphasize.
You milk person, god damn it.
Nope, that's an artist that I have no idea about.
Anyway, John.
Anyway,
So
I'm
John,
searching
get off
stuff.
your phone.
I'm searching fucking cantaloupe.
Be professional.
Put your
for Christ's
phone
sake.
down. The
Over.
government's not out to get you. You need to calm down, sir.
Speaking
They're not
of,
out to get you because they've had you for. Your
they
entire
already own us.
Your social security number is how the devil tracks you.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. He's the Lord. He's there.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the
Well,
Lord. All right. Well,
subjects about the podcast.
Hail Satan.
This time is
conspiracies and paranoia. Paranoia and conspiracies.
paranoia about conspiracies.
Or how about I'm paranoid about the conspiracies that the government's creating to tell us to be paranoid. They're putting fucking drugs in the water.
They're turning the freaking frogs gay.
They're alligators down in Florida.
And then turn the freaking
What?
frogs gay.
Dang old Kamehameha.
They got the goddamn gators. They're like 16 feet long. They're bigger than my goddamn Challenger.
That's
From
not what I was
1968.
expecting.
You don't even have a Challenger.
No, the 1968 Challenger. I don't have one.
You were lying to the audience. How
I
dare
don't give
you?
a shit.
They don't
With your
even know what he looks like.
characterization of this person.
You drive a Fiat.
I mean, there's part. Yeah,
A
it's
little
owned
Kia.
by Fiat. It is
Fiat.
Dodge. Fiat.
Vietnamese.
Fiat. Small yet strong.
That's what
Like
she
your
said.
penis. John is the captain of the tugboat.
That is what she proclaimed.
She proclaimed her love.
We're not on subject at all.
No. Okay, so let's just. I'm sorry.
So-
We're trying to be lighthearted before we get all fucking depressing about paranoia and all that other shit.
So paranoia.
So what are you paranoid about, John? In your life? Like, what's the one thing
Thank
you're
you.
paranoid about?
Thank you for emphasizing paranoid. What are you paranoid about? That's today's subject, guys. I guess we have a stamp of approval that today is about paranoia. How many more
I
times
asked
can
you
we
a
write
simple
paranoid?
question, you cunt.
I don't
What is that
know.
about?
Like, it depends. Paranoia can kind of go all over the place. You can become paranoid if you smoke too much weed. I've had that happen where, like, I feel like people are trying to get into the house or apartment or what have you.
And when you smoke for the first time and you go out in public, that's some scary shit.
It's some
They
terrifying
can put
shit.
in knows I did a crime.
Oh my God. They can tell. They can see it in my eyes.
It's like I can put like half a bottle of Visine in my goddamn eyes, and they're gonna be like,
Still be red.
"You're funny."
Why
I'm
are
just
eyes so glossy?
super. I'm gonna be honest. I'm super stoned. This is like 2007, 2008, John. Into 2009.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, depends on what your paranoia. It really depends on certain aspects. Like, I don't really care if the government's listening to what I'm saying or doing on my cell phone.
Because they are.
Because they probably are. More than likely, they can see all that shit. Like, who cares?
But I tell them to calm down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's aspects where it doesn't bother me. There's other times where, like, I don't have anything really to hide. I get that everyone's like, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to hide. It's your privacy. I was like, what privacy do you have if you're going out into the middle of, like, town or the city and having a full-blown conversation on your cell phone in front of everybody, and then they go and someone comes up to you and goes, hey, here's something that you can say to that person that you're talking to, and then they get offended because you heard their conversation.
I mean, if somebody I don't know comes up to me and gives me a conversation advice, can I be like, get the fuck away from me? I don't know you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's still in public. There's no law against you speaking on the phone and it being a private conversation.
Well, I know that. I'm not saying it's a private conversation. I'm just saying that's a weird move to go up to somebody you don't know and be like, hey, say this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what if you're like saying something funny and you're saying a joke over the phone and then you end it laughing and the person next to you is laughing and you're like, hey, I'm funny, right? Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
Or the FBI.
But then I'm being like,
laughing.
hey,
I mean, but that's the
I
same
can
thing.
contribute
They're
to a
listening.
conversation to two people I don't know and one person I can't see.
They could comment.
Good.
They could say, add something to it. I mean,
It's just fucking weird.
It's
What
weird
about if you're in the privacy of your own bedroom?
What if you are in the privacy of... Well, if somebody's like at your window going, ding, 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 hello, that was a funny conversation you just had on the phone.
I feel like that was directed
No,
towards
it's
somebody.
it's more like, what if they tap your house?
if you're that worried, if you're that concerned, go fucking see the person. Invite them over. Like, hey, like, this is an important
The
conversation. You know how...
He's talking about the FBI and shit.
Like the government, the FBI
government.
and like all the... Government stole my teeth.
Because you're talking about having a conversation in public and like people already listening and you're like, it's no different. But people don't tap your house on the daily. That's what makes it different.
Yeah.
True, but I mean, where is...
But it's still your cell phone, whether you're at home, whether you're in public, whether you're at work. Like, it's still your cell phone. If they wanted to tap into it, they're going to do it regardless of where you're at.
That's the point.
Exactly. So if you're at home and you're that worried...
Don't buy the technology.
Exactly.
But it wouldn't matter.
Buy fucking walkie-talkies. No one listens to that shit anymore.
I mean, they do, but...
I mean, I
It's a
just
lot
watched
easier.
an NCIS episode and they used to ham radio to solve a crime. So that's it.
NCIS. I just watched NCIS. I know all about murder.
Yeah.
So-
McGee used a ham radio.
McGee is fat.
McGee's not fat anymore.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He really slimmed down, but he's
Tony's
got a
fat.
weird goatee.
You're fat.
Tony's fat.
Yeah, Tony got fat.
Tony got fat.
Ziva died, found out he had a kid, and he let himself go.
You know what that proves, though?
I can't breathe.
That proves that you can be fat and be successful.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, Chris Farley.
You used the argument of I watched this TV show, therefore it can be done.
I'm just saying, I'm relating it to my personal life.
Look, SVU, Special Victims Unit. It's like,
Give me your
I've never
fucking
been
money.
diddled, but I've seen a lot of SVU.
I have seen a lot of SVU.
So I know
Yeah.
what can happen when someone does get diddled.
Yeah. Hey, that show actually fucking spiked up, like, fucking people actually wanting to report their shit.
That's good. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying, the way that you did it was like NCIS. I watch a lot of it. I saw that
I do.
they used a ham
He's
radio.
saying no one respects you.
MacGyver used, this is an old school reference, MacGyver used a fucking, what was it, paperclip, a piece of fucking, what is it, floss, and a rubber band, and he was able to hijack a fucking plane.
I mean, yeah,
Really easy.
it is really easy.
I could have all that stuff in my pocket and have a gun in my hand.
He's got a good point.
In terms of paranoia, I really don't know how to answer that question because it really depends on like the time of day, my mental state, and shit like that, I guess.
I mean, me personally, I just think if you're going to have a problem with it, then have a problem with it across the board.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with people snooping on your stuff, not watching what you're doing, then don't go buy a smartphone.
Or move to a different country.
You know what?
That
Move
too.
to a different country. Use
'Cause
it
that's gonna happen here if you
incognito
don't
or
have a cell phone.
whatever. Like, you know, like if it's that big of a deal to you, then don't buy the stuff that they use to listen to your conversations. Don't use the technology, you know, and that's
Yeah.
kind of hard in these days, but...
But I mean, who says that other countries aren't doing it even more so and they're being plain as day about it?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't know what the hell other countries are doing
But
most
that's
of the
the
time.
difference is most other countries would be like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And transparent. Whereas
Like-
America's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
And
like,
then they're
like
doing
England, they're
Yeah.
completely used to having a camera every inch of every street. Then Americans are like, that's weird. We don't like that. And they're like, and fuck you.
I think if the government can watch us so freaking closely, why is it so freaking hard to catch people?
It's
Right.
not that hard.
It's not.
I mean...
I mean, there's people that have gotten in today's
I mean,
day and
we
age
knew
that-
where Bin Laden was the entire goddamn time.
Theater.
They took a while to act on it to make sure that it was the right person.
Point is, we knew for a very long time
Theater.
where he was.
Then for a very long time...
Instead of being like, he's in
Yeah.
a cave somewhere.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was-
that's what they told us. They told us on
Yeah, that's
TV.
what they told us. But they knew where he was.
Then why didn't they could have acted on it? The thing that I don't understand is that if they knew exactly where he was, they could have acted on it earlier, and they wouldn't have to draw out a war.
Because
but then again,
because they wouldn't have been able to draw out the war.
That's what I was about to say, was that as long as you have this particular thing go on for that duration of time, you can potentially make more money. Exactly. From the hand signal that Miles gave, you can make more money for your country and for the other specific countries that you're trying to benefit in that specific war. So it's both sides of the fucking chess game that are specifically going, we give you this, we take this in return, and we do the same thing for you. And that's kind of how wars have been fought. I wouldn't say that World War II was like that, but after that, it was a lot different. After we had taken down nationalists, after we've done all the shit that's happened after we lost Vietnam, after Vietnam was a big lose for the U.S., we had to figure out a way to make more money. And in the U.S., we're seen as a big, huge, major corporate fucking just militaristic being that we can just do and say whatever the fuck we want because we can. And we don't have anybody that's going to be willing to do anything towards us because we have a very structured military. We also have the money to back up everything in terms of defense. And we have a way to attack at any point in time wherever we are in the world. We have somewhere in the world, we have bases all over the place.
Yeah.
They probably don't care.
But that's the other thing, too, is that other countries are just like, if we try to do something, we're fucked. Because...
Well, if you see somebody else digging their own hole...
Yeah.
Why would you go and kick him in it? Yeah. Just let him do it himself.
That's pretty true. But I mean, in terms of, like, all that shit... That's the only thing that I would say. I don't really trust my government as much as we were supposed to back then. Because if you look back 70 years, you were able to trust your government. You were able to put you were effectively able to put all your eggs in a basket and not worry about it.
Because they would still be there.
They would still be there. They would still be available for you and your kin and their kin afterwards.
Well, that's why people want to bury their money or not have checking accounts, not have like actual cards and stuff. That's why like prepaid things are a big deal now. Like it's not an actual bank that's holding your money or, you know.
And this whole...
Hashtag net spend.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the Cash App. The Cash App doesn't take really any information from you.
Yeah.
They're just like, cool, here you go.
You want? They already have
it. I mean...
Yeah.
Depends.
It's a false sense of security.
False senses of security.
But I mean, that's everything.
Right.
Though.
Nowadays,
that's everything.
they're like, oh, trust me, we're not going to take your information. We already have it.
And I was like, I already have a fucking...
So we're safer. We already have.
We have social media on all aspects. From Facebook to Twitter to Instagram. Instagram's owned by fucking Facebook. Twitter bought Vine, ate it up, and made it part of their platform. So there's just Twitter. Yeah. Twitter owns... Periscope at this point, which is a live feed.
Yeah.
Facebook has a live feed. Instagram has live feed because Facebook has live feed.
Yeah.
And all the information that you're putting out there, you're choosing to do so. And when Mark Zuckerberg had that fucking trial with the Supreme Court specifically about our privacy, it's like it's in plain as day, and we can't make it any more like open about what you're doing on this social media platform.
Yeah.
What you're giving rights to and what you're saying we can do with your information is right there. We told you. You're just too lazy to read.
You clicked accept.
Exactly. Yeah. You're too lazy to read 17 pages of information.
And then they get upset. That's not right. We need to know and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude.
Read your terms of service, man.
Right
if you live in an age where you read it and you agreed to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we can't force somebody to read something like that. And if they want to read something like that, and I mean, be honest, nobody reads that shit almost ever.
Very true.
From buying a new smartphone, from making a new plan at fucking Verizon, T-Mobile, Xfinity, wherever you are, making a new plan there. Yeah. They can buy you're paying them to take your information and potentially sell it to other companies to try to get you to buy more shit. That's the biggest thing. That's one of the biggest like cons in the United States in general or across the world is that there's places that you buy this Tascam recorder. We saw that you looked that up on Facebook or on Amazon, and here's an ad for it.
Or you tapped about it.
Exactly, or something completely unrelated.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the things too is I don't like the idea that that's why I'm liking a lot more of like what Safari does on Apple products is that I can limit the ad tracking. I can go search for something and it's not going to pop up everywhere. All over the place.
I don't know. I think that makes people paranoid too.
Yeah. With that, when it comes to advertisements, I just don't give a shit. Because I post about the shit I like, so it's known that I like that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to blow a big deal about seeing a ad over something I like on this or something related to something I like because it's public knowledge that I like that thing.
Yeah.
Well, people just think it's creepy that you're sitting there having a conversation about like cat trees or something, and then all of a sudden you go on your phone and the first advertisement is what you talked about 2 hours ago. And people just feel weirded out. Like, what the heck? My phone is...
But then again, they don't take into account all the things they post about cats, all the cat videos they've watched.
Yeah, there's also...
They don't take that into account, and they just see the fact that they talked about it, and they're thinking about it, and then they see it, and they just connect those two dots, and they're like, fuck, they're the facts.
But there's also, like, on cell phone... Using Apple and Android, two of the biggest fucking companies out there. You go to a fucking Android, and you have the keywords of, hey... blank. Hey, yeah, exactly. And that activates something. Or you have, hey, Siri. And it activates your shit. And, well...
Hey, Alexa! Just in case somebody listens to this all
that
over
too.
Their speakers.
Like, there's Alexa, hey Google, hey Siri, all that stuff. And it just activated. Because I said it. That type of stuff is... You are writing inside of the code. It gives... Hey, my microphone's going to be active so that I can hear this.
Yeah.
But nobody takes into account that on the terms of service of whatever else you're signing up for is going to say, hey, we're asking to use your microphone and your camera because you're going to want to use this feature, this feature, this feature, and this feature. But it also is going to use this feature and this feature the most.
Mm-hmm.
You're signing up for it. And then you're getting scared because you're going, I like to talk about dogs for 16 hours a week. And then out of nowhere, I get a dog, like, advertisement on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because maybe 4 hours prior to you going to Facebook, you looked up dogs in your area. It's not that weird to be in New Mexico and get a New Mexico specific, advertisement. Yeah. And then go somewhere like California and get a California specific advertisement on the internet.
Well, I didn't even know Facebook has your location, that it tells people like, hey, you're nearby so-and-so or whatever. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I had no idea.
Yeah, it's all about based on...
You know what I did? I went and turned it off. I haven't thought about it since.
It's all based on the location services that you have set up in your phone, too. Because even the iPhone...
You didn't turn it off there.
That, too. The iPhone, too, has a weird little feature where you can track where you've been.
Yeah.
Exactly where you've been. And it shows, like, on the map, this is where you went. From here to here to here to here to here to here, there to there, there to there to there to there. And these are the most frequently visited places. Like if you go to McDonald's, like every single day to one specific location, your maps, whenever you get into the car and it notices that you're starting and driving and you're going, it'll go, boop, you're going to McDonald's at this specific time. I think it's a cool little feature.
Creatures of habit.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a cool little feature because like I'll go at 5:45 in the morning or 6:45 in the morning, I'm getting ready to go to work. It goes, getting ready to go to work, pops up like, work is your next destination because of the time that I'm doing it. Or whenever I get out of work and it goes, Planet Fitness is your next destination. I think that shit's pretty cool because it gives you like a sense of habit. You're doing the same thing over and over again, but it's not something to be paranoid over, personally.
At the end of the day, all these things are created for convenience, and then they end up being used by somebody who has a different agenda.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to have that attitude, like Austin said, or just fuck it.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Just got to get over it.
Yeah, man. Paranoia is not like it used to be.
No. It's people who, it's true, you're right.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to be a little bit now. I mean, there's more people who have cameras in their front door than I've ever known. And people steal their Amazon packages. I saw one lady drop her kid off. She just dropped off this little boy. It was a little baby boy. And she walked him up to the front door, rang the doorbell a few times. She dropped his bag and his stuff. She got him a bag and everything. And just took off.
Yeah, see, that's illegal.
And just fucking left. Well, so it's stealing packages.
But that's also, there was a flip side. If I remember that video, there was actually a description about what had happened. She was the babysitter, and the parents weren't answering the phone and weren't answering the door because she had been trying to drop off the kid, and she had the kid 45 minutes to an hour after the actual time frame that he was supposed to be with her. I'm not getting paid for this hour. Here's your kid back. You should stay to the contract that we had. Knock, knock, knock. Here's your shit. Deuces. Not my problem.
But it just,
After 5 p.m.
Until the cops show up.
Until the cops show up, we made a contract. The contract specifically states 5 p.m. I don't need to have your kid after 5 p.m.
But still, like you are the one abandoning. You're the one endangering the kid for leaving it on the porch.
Yeah.
I tried for the last hour.
You are still the one who did it.
But there were people home.
The person was in their. The kid was in their possession. They were responsible for that kid.
It sucks, but also for
like that babysitter is at fault if anything would have happened to that baby in case the parents weren't home. They were running late or something. That babysitter is still fucking liable for whatever would happen to that baby if they just left it on a porch for hours at a time without the parents knowing.
I get where you're coming from, but by law, by the contract, by the words that are on paper, if there was a contract, specifically, I am only responsible for this child until 5 p.m.
It's literally called contract law.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many people have you? Have you babysat before?
Not
I've
really.
babysat a lot, and no one's ever written down a contract for me. It's all verbal agreement, or they text me the times, or they'll say like, "Hey, about this time or that time," or they'll tell me the day before. So I mean, at that point, I kind of don't have physical proof, like showing, "Hey, I'm only supposed to have him till 5. I was calling, and it's like, well, the parents can come up and say, "Hey, I asked him yesterday if they can stay an extra 2 hours, and they said yes." Like,
that's the
I don't know, that
text
kind of...
Yeah, and there's even
nowadays that's good enough.
That's good enough. That is a contract. That is part of the contract.
And even then, there's still ways around that. Like, the parent's not answering for a couple hours. They say they don't do that very often. You have the kid. You can call the cops. Like, hey, I'm the babysitter, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Parents haven't answered for the last 2 hours. I need a wellness check.
Yeah.
I mean, they go and check.
I totally understand being upset and being like, hey, like, I'm just the babysitter. I'm doing this for a job. Like, this is your child. When you say this is the time you're taking them back, you need to take back your child. But there's a way to go about it.
Yeah.
So that way you...
And not just leaving a kid on a porch.
And it's not so much...
It's shitty.
So you don't come off looking like an
happens.
asshole, but it's so you cover your own ass.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, because at the end of the day, anyone's looking... What if they ignored the door just to see what she would do to get her in trouble or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, anyone has to cover their own butts. Like,
it's true. And I mean, it's the same thing for, like, that's why I'm a big,
same thing for parents.
I'm pro, like, camera with audio.
Yeah.
For people who are, like, part of Uber or part of Lyft, or even, like you said, for the people who are trying to make sure that their packages aren't getting stolen in front or in back of their house because some crackhead or meth head wants to come and steal their shit. The one that was the most justifiable for me was this lady was running up, trying to steal a package. She picked up the box and ran, and her leg snapped in half. Like, she broke her fucking leg.
Yeah.
It fell to the ground, and her dude was in the car trying to get away. Stopped the car, put it in park, picked her up, and they were like, leave the shit, just let's go. And they caught the whole thing on film. The guy came out, picked up his box, put it back on the porch.
Coming was like, nah, bitch.
Yeah. No, the first thing that I thought was like, drink some fucking milk. Get some calcium in that shit.
That's
you
a
need
myth.
to. I know it's a myth, but I'm joking. But like, strengthen your shit.
I've seen someone leave a string, like a fake box, and they like tie it to their porch. So when people take off, it just yanks them back.
Yeah. There's those, and then people have rigged up like
Bicycles.
Bicycles. I'm talking about like packages in particular, like the bank bags with a die.
Yeah.
People have rigged up boxes just like that, and that's
And just
fucking
fucking
hilarious
spray
to
'em.
me.
There's this one guy who dresses up as a lady. Like, I mean, it's a terrible costume,
It's,
you know, and he leaves his purse there. Who is that?
It's a part of a youth. They also do the bike. They do
Yeah.
TV.
Huh?
What?
Twins TV.
Twins TV. I love those videos. My favorite bike video is when the buff dude gets into a fight with like someone who just got out of prison.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, and whoops his ass
I like the old lady who's trying to take the bike
with her fucking sandals and it flips off.
It's
Like,
great when
you're
She
the
ate
lead,
shit
like-
hard. She was one of the hardest crashes in that video.
it was
freaking
great. There was
hilarious.
that like crackhead looking dude who tried to steal the bike and it was tied to a tree.
Yep.
And he undid it and everything. And he's going down a hill fast as shit. And he's boom, and he gets up and he's all pissed off at the people. They're like, "You tried to steal our shit."
Yeah.
What are you getting mad about when you're the one who's doing the thing that's wrong? Well, it's not fucking right that you're doing this shit to people. Why are you stealing someone else's property that doesn't belong to you?
Yeah.
What do you not understand? The whole thing with the kid, it's fucked up, but again, they should have done it better. But again, by the contract or the agreement that they made, it could be through text or over some sort of agreement. 5 o'clock's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that's really shitty. But like, there's not really much for me to be necessarily paranoid about because everything is pretty much out there at this point.
Or like that one guy who rigged his car.
Yeah, that's right. There was a bunch of break-ins to vehicles in his neighborhood, so he rigged his car with a shotgun. And dumbass forgot about it. Opened up his back seat and shot himself in the shoulder.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Called the cops and was like, "No, I'm just bleeding out. So I'm in my garage. I'm in
Fell
front of
for
my
my own
garage.
booby trap.
No, you know what? Don't even send anybody. I ain't gonna make it."
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
So, sir, do you have anything to like tie it or cover it with? No, I'm just right here. You
I'm
know.
gonna die.
Just bleeding.
I'm gonna bleed out. Tell my family I love them.
I mean, but some
At
people
that
go all
point,
out.
you can't even be mad. You did it to
He
yourself.
wasn't.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, fuck.
He accepted it. He accepted it, but I mean, people go outrageous to where they buy bunkers.
Mm-hmm.
They buy like freaking
I think
shipping
that's a smart-
containers and.
Smart idea though.
I think it's smart to do the whole planning, disaster planning.
Natural disaster planning.
Yeah, like
In general,
disaster
just
plannings.
disaster planning. Huh?
Well, here doesn't really
Post-apocalyptic.
matter.
No, I'm saying like in case something happens, have you seen White House Down?
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that's not a natural disaster.
I'm saying disaster in general because that is a
I'm
disaster.
gonna rely on Channing Tatum for that one.
Exactly. He is trained. He's been through the situation.
He's getting a little
Many
fat, but I
times.
think he's got my back.
And he's great entertainment.
He was also a stripper.
He was.
He was a strong man.
He's
So,
an
I mean,
entertainer.
he was a male entertainer. I'm
He
sorry.
was a stripper. Let's just throw that out there.
He was
No lack
fucking-
of confidence.
A massage therapist.
Fucking.
That's what they're called
Massage
nowadays,
cock for money.
But yeah, like prepping, like for a natural
You're a
disaster, I
whore.
understand. If you're in an area that has natural disasters,
Dude, we have white sands.
yeah,
That's the first place to blow up.
that's not a natural disaster.
That's a hot point.
Like
for
it's not a
terrorist shot,
hurricane,
though.
it's not a tornado. Like
I'm-
planning for a natural disaster, I understand
You
that
can
part.
get lost out
But
there.
like,
But what
if you're
John
in the
said
area,
was disaster.
I mean,
I just-
disasters, cool,
Yeah, not natural, but
whatever,
disaster.
right? Whatever.
Just horrible shit.
It's a
Fuck it.
disaster.
And I'm sorry, but if I wanted to
Get
take
a
out
gun,
America, and I was like,
Some cases of water
let's get all
and a
white
sweet
sands.
ass jacket, you'd be fine.
God damn it.
It's a twister. It's a twister.
But like, I mean, disaster specifically, like shit going down. We want to have a fucking.
I hate you.
What did you say?
Moving on. Shut the fuck up. Moving on.
What did you
I
say?
said
Don't
we're
worry
not
about
in
it.
Kansas anymore.
Shut
Oh.
up. Moving on.
And
Everybody hate me.
but yeah, like disaster shit, just in general. If anything happens, we can for sure be okay. Make sure that you have like a bunker, like a bomb shelter, like they did back in the day. Back then, they thought shit was gonna go off because our government again was open to and very transparent with their people. And now they're holding so many different secrets that once we find something out, that's one benefit. This is like one of the only benefits about having Trump as a president, is that he's just like, no, we're not gonna let that happen, because fucking America, yeah. and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that all our people are safe, and we're going to, if anything happens, we're going to tell you, and then if I find out that someone said something that I said, I'm going to just be completely frank with you guys. And
the problem is that
then,
Trump doesn't understand that he can't just say that and it's true.
Yeah.
And then he
so
he denies exactly what he said to us there.
It's
Exactly.
cool, but he's gone back on his word so many times already.
Exactly.
But
He's not
that's-
trustworthy.
He's got to understand that
He's
he's not
flip-flopping
running
a
the
lot.
place.
Like, he could literally, like, tomorrow,
he's
be like,
the spokesperson.
tomorrow
but
he
he
could be like,
doesn't
we're
run
gonna-
the
government.
government.
tomorrow he's like,
Right.
tomorrow he could be like, Russia's coming, we're gonna die.
That's
And
why
then
I
it
think it's a joke.
happens, and nobody's gonna fucking believe him because he's Trump and he lies and talks shit all the time.
But there's going to be a large majority of people that are going to believe him, and they're going to be ready for that, and they're going to be like, we told you so.
Yeah, on the downside, that's not gonna be the greatest
You know
bunch
what
of
though?
people to
Most of
continue
those
the
people,
American
I
race.
guarantee you, have already been preparing for that shit before Trump was president.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's been going on since before Bush, even. It's been going on since the Cold War,
I don't
since
think
the
any of it's
1980s.
There's so many people behind him. There's so many people who even celebrities who tell him what to wear, what to do, what to say, where to go, you know?
Yeah.
And it's all entertainment. It's all bringing up ratings. It's all about money, about popularity and shit. And it's like, you know what, in all honesty, like, he could probably be the nicest guy and we have no freaking idea.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
he's-
there's this image and people are fucking eating it out of
Yeah.
the palm of their hands.
But that's the thing, is that the
Their
American
own
government, what's that?
They're all wrong
The-
hands.
Yeah. The American government specifically has been, for a very long time, a very big reality TV show. And it's basically the Truman Show for the Americans. And when foreigners, and I say foreigners, everybody else from other countries, foreigners from all over the place have, and I go to Reddit a lot, and there's people that talk about, like, what is your view of the American people? The American people from our country, they're bigoted, they're big-headed, they have no respect for anything. This is what we see.
Yeah.
This is what we view these people as. And then they come to America, and then they're like, my whole perception before and after visiting was, you guys are nice people. Everybody in the country they have good people all over the place that just want to help their neighbor.
Yeah.
They want to help each other. They want to be free, just like everybody else in the rest of the world.
Yeah, a majority of us are decent fucking people.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that's really weird to see. Some not so much, but others, yeah. But
It's a
No.
majority.
I know, I'm kidding. But like, that's some crazy shit. Like, some people, percentage of Americans that
Are decent
Travel.
fucking people.
And then it's other people from other countries that come here that see the difference between what they're used to seeing in media compared to what we actually are.
Yeah.
And he just looked up what percentage of Americans actually travel. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So they surveyed 2,000 people and 54% have only been in the States.
Have only visited other states and probably haven't even left their state.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing that's really crazy is that, like, even in the United States specifically, is that there is such a big mixing pot that people will quote that you have everything you need here. But how are you going to be able to experience other cultures like Japan, China? I don't know about Brazil quite anymore, or like South America, even Mexico, and it's right next door.
Yeah.
Or Canada, and it's just right next door. Just because they're Canadian doesn't necessarily mean that there's no cultural difference whatsoever.
I mean, we can experience some Hondurans once they make it here, man.
if they make it here.
Yeah.
If they're allowed to make it into the country.
Some people
Because-
slip through.
Some will, but not all.
I know.
There's thousands of people trying to make it.
I know. And it's like semi-inspiring, man.
I mean, I'm sure there's just as many people who want to leave, but where do they go?
But I mean, that's the thing, is that once you're here, this is how shitty it is that once you're here, you don't want to go because you have freedom. You have these certain laws in effect where you're pretty much protected for whatever it is that you believe in. Whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jewish person, a fucking atheist, a Satanist, what have you. you're protected. You can practice free.
Unless you run for government.
Yeah, that too. But I
then
mean,
you have to be a good squeaky Christian.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, that's why I think it'd be fucking
well,
awesome.
I don't know. I think everyone is just so about. I don't know. I feel like it's either one or the other, where people have religion and then people want to like speak against it or have different views, and then when someone else is just like, hey, like I don't want to, well then they're wrong for it. Like, I mean, it still goes on. It's not across the board where every single time you've expressed who you are, what you believe in, or what you're doing without upsetting someone else, and there's always going to be someone who's right or wrong because someone is more disrespectful than the other, and it's, in all honesty, it's whichever one has the more popular vote. If you're Puerto Rican or if you're black, you know what I mean? Like,
I get where you're coming from.
I think it's still there. I don't think you can...
I think they should... What should happen, and this is just an opinion I've had for a very, very long time, is that they should have it as it was originally intended and keep religion out of politics entirely.
Yeah.
It should not matter, because originally they were fleeing from religious oppression and religious laws that were part of their country. So when the U.S. was originally founded by the forefathers, we don't want to have religion a part of our government.
But
in
beliefs are what drive you. Beliefs are what...
Individuals, yes, but it shouldn't be for everybody.
But it does. Regardless of what you believe in, even if you believe there is no God, that belief changes your decision for the next day. It changes what you think is good for the country, what you think is good for your neighbor or not.
Not necessarily.
But it does.
No, it doesn't.
I agree with Hannah.
I think it does.
I think it's more ridiculous to think that you can take something out of your belief system and run it effectively than just admit that that's what affects your decision making.
What would happen if you just thought of things without the religious aspect of it? Now, I'm not saying religion is bad.
No, of course.
What I'm stating is,
it's amazing.
What would happen if...
Well, I'm not saying religion. I'm not saying specifically religion.
Okay.
Whatever you believe. So if you believe in science...
No,
you know what I mean? Like, if you...
I believe in science.
You know, like, you're definitely not going to go with the option that is more pro-religion because you don't believe in that. Because you don't go that route. You're never going to choose something that is more... in that direction.
No, I get that. I get where you're coming from. What I'm stating is that
Tyson.
specific laws.
He believes in God and science.
Laws specifically. I'm talking laws. Your beliefs and the way you think are going to be separate from the way that these particular laws should be written.
Mm-hmm.
Laws shouldn't be written specifically to favor a religion, a person's belief. They should be favoring all people. Logistically, all people in all religions.
But how, you can't
and
do
all
that.
In a perfect world, John.
You can't please everybody.
But I mean, if
you can't make a decision that's it. I mean, you can even say, "Hey, there's freedom of speech. Hey, fuck you and what you believe in. Hey, no, fuck you." And then someone throws a rock. You know why? Because I believe you shouldn't talk no more. So I'm gonna throw a rock at your face.
I thought a rock would look better on your face than on this
That's
ground.
the difference.
And it's my freedom to practice.
But assault is there's also
You know what I
there's
mean?
also a law for battery and assault.
But that's someone's belief.
Battery.
Battery or battery?
But see,
battery is what you put in a calculator.
That's what gets tough, is because
Different
you want your
flow of
freedom
powder.
your freedom to practice your own belief, your freedom of speech and all of that. Well, what if your belief is to do that?
But what I'm stating...
How do you draw the line? Like, hey, this is... You can't. You shouldn't be able to harm other people. But that's my freaking
nobody's
belief.
been able to do it.
But there's black or white, and that's what you're thinking black and white, of this is what I believe, this is how it should be. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if we removed the idea of religion in government, like it was originally intended, look at other countries that are prospering that have a surplus in their fucking government. They have more money, and they are able to help their people because they're thinking logistically. I'm thinking logically. Think logically. If you
been here forever, so.
The difference, I think, between those countries and America is the compromise. They have a common goal in terms of working together for what you think is the greater good. Now, I don't necessarily believe that both of those sides throw away what makes them choose what they choose.
That's what I'm saying.
But they compromise between the difference in individuals.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is that if the U.S. government did that, it would be...
But they won't.
They won't.
They won't.
Because we are so ingrained in the idea that the
Party
perfect.
system.
What's that?
Party system.
The party
You'll
system.
never have it with the
But
party
it's not
system.
only the party system. We're so ingrained, no matter which side you're on or what party you're in, is that it's the white Christian male that's going to run the country. The one objection and the one difference was Obama. Everybody else has been what? And claimed to be what?
White and Christian.
Exactly.
And
The
Obama was
fir-
black and Christian. Which is why I made it.
But he wasn't even
He was
black.
51%
He wasn't
Christian.
even black until after he got presidency.
He
Well,
was-
that's a whole other conversation.
He wasn't black until after.
That's a whole That's
He was-
a whole separate
he was-
conversation.
No,
was judged.
they didn't label. They didn't say that our first black president until after he got it. Like he.
Well, yeah, you can't be your first black president before you get presidency.
Well, I mean, you can't be. You could be the
That's a-
first
that's a
black
whole-
guy running for it.
Let's not go into race and ethnicity, please.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Such
like
a stupid system.
that. There's what would happen, and this is the one thing that I think it would be fucking hilarious and very interesting to watch is if someone claimed that they were Christian, they got voted into presidency, and they turn around and go, "No, I'm a fucking atheist."
Oh yeah, I remember that conversation. I was like, I'd totally do that.
Like, what would happen? What would the American people? Holy shit, we
They
have a
would-
heathen in the fucking
They would
office.
freak the fuck out.
Why? Because he has a different belief system than you do, or he believes in nothing.
Well, I'm sure it happens either way, regardless of who you are.
Right.
People throw a fit because they are Christian. People throw a fit because they
But
do have religion.
there's-
It's just
I know.
not that big of a deal because media
But
doesn't
it-
make it a big deal.
To be completely honest, if it was the other way around where it was an atheist in presidency and they admitted they were an atheist and they won the presidency, it would be a lot more fucked up. If it was an atheist or a Luciferian or a Satanist, there would be a way bigger reaction than, oh, hey, it's another Christian.
It's
dude."
another Christian dude.
That's just to John's point, though.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying, is that people don't react to that shit when it's like, I don't believe in anything. I just want to make sure that shit's okay.
Yeah.
Next episode topic news.
It would be. If someone said that, hey, by the way, guys, I'm a Satanist, they're going to go, holy shit, what the fuck did we just vote in? I can't believe you tricked us like this. But every other president before that...
It would have to be Trump. No, honestly, like you would have to, because anybody else isn't gonna have the money to fall back on when everybody just dumps him and leaves him.
Exactly.
Because the Democratic or Republican Party would immediately impeach him, and he'd have no money.
Mhm.
So the only person who could do something like that
Would be
would be
him.
Trump.
Or somebody else who owns another company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if he did, they'd probably keep him in presidency. They'd give him a pay cut, and then they tell everybody that somebody hacked his Twitter account.
Yeah.
And then...
And
this-
then like, that would
And everyone's
prove-
like, "Oh, that explains it because he's such an."
And that would be just like, if that happened, I have no doubt in my mind that person would probably be impeached. No doubt in my mind.
yeah, they would do it.
And then
in
that
a
would be-
It
heartbeat.
wasn't Trump.
That would be a slap
Exactly.
in the face, straight up to the Constitution.
That would be. Because that's the
It'd
we
just
are
be a
so-
wake up call, though.
that it's
Exactly.
that's
That's what it
the
would be.
thing.
Like, that would be
People
that-
are like, wait,
like,
you
if
mean
that
what you've
person-
been telling us is not the truth?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like that
What do you think's
person,
been going on this whole time? Then?
But every
Like,
I'm a liberal.
like that person would have
Your
to go
vote
into
didn't
that
even
situation
count.
I'm
Shut
a
the fuck up.
Republican.
with that plan. You know what I mean?
that's the
Like that
thing.
person would have to be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna claim that I'm this. Once I'm elected, I'm gonna tell the truth, and I'm gonna show exactly what's gonna happen once they find out the truth.
But
It'd
that-
be like that white girl.
Like, that
who
would
looks
have to be
like
that plan.
It would have to be planned out so strategically that after 2 years, he would have to be in office for 2 years, and then specifically state that he's either a Satanist, an atheist, a Muslim, a Jew, what have you.
As long as he made like a significant change within those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those first 2 years are going to matter, and he's going to have to do a lot of shit to change to make the changes effective
Mhm.
immediately,
Right.
not be
Like universal
Here's-
health care.
it
And
has
then,
to happen.
hey, by the way,
this
I
is
worship Satan every night.
the
It's like, holy shit.
like
And
Wait a
here,
minute.
here are my commandments. Number one is
Let
don't
me go
be a
get that flu
dick.
shot real quick.
like that's the thing that blows my mind is that it's the Christian. This government has tried so hard to push everything else away and make it this Christian government, and make it so that this is what we believe in. Why are we making laws that are trying to, like, I can't force a Jewish person to eat pork. Jewish. I know, I fucked it up.
My
A Jew-
dad's Jewish. He eats pork.
or like
Yeah.
a fucking
YOLO.
or a Muslim to
Muslims
fucking
fucking-
pray to the west instead of to the east. Like, there's certain things that everybody has their beliefs in, but what I'm simply stating is what happens when someone who is not of that major religion becomes a person of power.
I don't
What
know.
happens
I feel like it's not there. I don't feel like it's
like Christianity runs the government. It has ran the government. Why hasn't
You know why?
I don't think so.
And-
I
and
think
I don't
people
wanna-
are just putting a label on
I
it.
don't want to be a
calling it-
jerk, but do you know why that probably is?
Why?
Because you're Christian.
How?
A lot of
How-
Christian
but
people
how is that-
don't mind it, or they
Yeah,
don't see
kinda
it
like when
because
they
they're like,
added-
yeah, that's right.
Like when they added one nation under God, when they added in God we trust on the money,
Yeah, it's
not
on
that
everything
long
that we
ago.
use.
Yeah, this was like 50,
Everything
60
we
years
use.
ago that specifically the U.S. government put.
If you ask me, that's a long time ago because
That-
I'm not 50 years old.
No, but I'm saying
John,
like in.
I know you
I'm
were a
not-
child and
I'm-
you remember that clearly.
In the-
Always
but...
playing stickball in the alley with the Johnsons.
I know Moses was in your yearbook, John, but
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
Like-
no, that was years ago though. I'm talking.
I see what
about
you did there.
now.
That
I
is still
think
not
it's so corrupt though that
That's when it
it's
starts.
it's not even like the line is so blurred though that even though it's under like the label like Christian or whatever, it's not fully
It
that.
is, though.
But I don't
But there's
think so.
name a
I
person.
think it's
in,
so corrupt
if
that
we
you
look up
can't.
everybody's, if
I
we
don't
try to
think it
spend
is.
like an hour to 3 hours to look up everybody in the U.S. government who is not a Christian compared to who is a Christian in terms of religious belief systems, how many are there compared to how many are not there? How many are practicing atheists? How many are practicing, no one's going to come out and just say that they're a Satanist.
But just because half of those people claim it doesn't mean they practice it. Doesn't mean they make their Christian belief their decision of every single day.
But that's what they do, though.
But at
last
that,
year
But
the
it
Congress
doesn't.
was 91% Christian, and 62% of voters claimed to be part of a Christian congregation.
And that's exactly
Claimed.
what...
and at your
But
point,
that's claimed. That's,
Claim.
Well,
but
what else can
at
they
your
do?
point, Hannah, yeah, they could not be practicing, but they put that on their resume because they know that's immediately going to get them voters.
that's going to get their votes because that's how many people are in the United States that are seen as Christian.
Yeah.
They
Like,
may not be
guaranteed, not
practicing,
everybody,
but
hardly
they're gonna
anybody
go-
in the
they're-
fucking government goes to church
I don't
every,
even think
every
votes
day.
work. So I
You know what I mean?
I mean, the
I-
KKK
I agree
specifically,
with you.
the
So I
Ku
don't
Klux
care.
Klan, the Ku
I
Klux
agree.
Klan.
You doing
has-
heroin?
No,
Gotcha.
I'm
The
using it as
KKK.
the KKK. I'm using it as a timeline. Like the KKK specifically, from point to point, has specifically been seen as Christian voters. They are a bunch of racist, bigoted people who don't like people of color, other religious beliefs. They don't like people who are
Like
who
male
are
butt stuff.
just in general.
But they're in church every Sunday.
But they go and practice their Christian beliefs. They go and vote for Christian leaders. They go and vote for the government specifically for their needs and wants because they know that those people that are running for government are going to be on their side of the fucking war when something happens. Obama got voted into office specifically because he was able to write a good speech, he was poignant, and he was able to say what everyone wanted to hear at that time.
I mean,
That's how you get voted into office.
Yeah.
He did have a great voice, though.
He knew how to
I would
speak to
love to
people.
have that guy in the studio.
Imagine if he did an audiobook.
He did.
He did?
He did audiobooks before he was in legislature.
I need to find those books.
He actually read a book that
Is that
had
Morgan
Chris
Freeman's
Ridgely.
voice?
Imagine Morgan Freeman as president. How soothing those speeches would be, even if we were about to die.
I'd be content with everything he
I
says.
vote DMX for president.
Right. That would be no, not Charles.
By the real.
But that's my
Yeah,
argument.
that's fuck.
The one thing is I want to know what would happen if we flipped the script. What if 91% of the people in government were atheists or were non-denominational in any sense?
It would depend on the media. How is the media going to view it to the world? How is the media going to bring it about?
The
How
funny
is the
thing is
media
that
going
that
to talk about it?
could be.
How is the money going to influence it? If it's not, if the media comes out and saying, this is terrible, this is a bad idea, our government's going to shit, everyone's going to believe, hey, it's going to shit. They're not going to put out the truth. They're not going to say, hey, it doesn't matter what these people believe in. They're changing things. They're making this country better. But they're like, oh, no, this is the label. We're putting money towards it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I think
That's
to
all
Hannah,
it is. It's all a label.
I think
That's
to
it.
Hannah's point, that could like what you're talking about, 91% atheists in Congress or whatever. That could be happening right now, and they could all just be telling us they're Christian.
just to get the votes.
It's all a label.
Right.
But if that's the thing is
So
the
that
label,
doesn't necessarily mean...
But like
However,
John's point
the
is like
reason-
he wants to see what would happen if somebody was very openly an atheist
I don't
or
think it will happen.
I still
It's
think
not
it
gonna
depends
happen.
what the media is going to do with it.
the media
If
is
the
going to flip
media,
it.
if the
they're gonna
media
flip it and make
thinks,
it, they're gonna
hey,
demonize
this
it.
is going to be a great thing. Our ratings are gonna blow up because people are gonna be pissed. People are gonna be angry. We're gonna make the world shake, and we're gonna make them mad at the fact that this guy's an atheist, and we're gonna use it because our ratings are low and we have nothing else to fucking.
Yeah,
but look at CNN. And
they've done that.
Other than that, I don't think you're gonna get a real response. I don't think you're gonna get a genuine response because everything.
I'm talking about the people specifically. The media is gonna do what the media is gonna do. The media
and
has
people
always
fall
been
for
fake.
it.
Yes, because they watch it. But the thing is that if you look at who owns CNN, look at who owns Fox. These big, huge fucking companies that are owned by Christian white guys. If it wasn't for film in general. Film was started, let's go back to the history of just film in general. Film in general was started by a bunch of Jews in the middle of Hollywood that wanted to make something of themselves because they were sick and tired of being told no. They were sick of getting the middle finger. They were sick of being told, fuck you. I don't want no fucking, quote-unquote, kike doing anything in this fucking city. Fine, fuck you. I'm going to do it myself. So they raised the money. They made the money. They did the shit that they wanted to do, and they started Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So who owns Hollywood? A bunch of Jewish guys. They make a fuck ton of money, and they did what they needed to do to make what they needed to get done. But the news and the media, they want to try to backlash on that because they're sick and tired of being told, fuck you. The government itself is owned by 91% people who claim they are Christian, and they're not trying to do anything to benefit anybody else outside of their religion, outside of their beliefs. Because nobody else matters. That's not their votes. Like you said, voting only specifically matters to the people that they're targeting. And the media is going to play a big role in it when they go, this guy's an atheist. He's going to be focused, he's going to become very famous, but he's also going to get demonized because of his belief system. When you can have a person who's a practicing Christian who raped 16 people of varying ages. But they're still going to go over the Christian and say he's a better person because he's not an atheist. Or because he's non-denominational. That's my only argument about the whole entire government. Is that they focus on this title being this person's a Christian, so he's therefore automatically better than this person who has done nothing bad with this title. But he's done so many bad things. He's stolen money, he has treason under his fucking, he's raped so many people, he's done this, he's also been part of a fucking war that's killed innocent people. Mm-hmm. But because he's Christian, he's okay.
The church itself has all those claims against it. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Organized religion is a big piece of shit.
Random thought. Hi, guys. I believe every major religious institution should be taxed.
I do too.
I do not think it should be tax free. Because they make money. Look at Joel Osteen in Texas.
Multi-millionaire.
Guaranteed that fucker's living better than a majority of the people in his religion. Guaranteed. There's not even an argument against that. I believe that should be taxed. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, fucking Hinduism, whatever. If you have a church of whatever kind,
you have some sort of religious building. Yeah.
You should be taxed. You are a business. You're selling a product.
Yeah. Can we just get rid of tax?
If we get rid of tax, we won't have roads.
We don't have roads.
We won't have schools.
We don't have roads now.
Then our balls get hot.
They're already
because my balls was hot. We won't have
balls hot.
Are your balls hot now?
The really shitty part is like I can't agree with taxation being theft because taxation necessarily isn't theft by the government. I feel like taxation specifically is for us to be able to have the things that we need. Like the stoplights, the roads, the schools, and all that shit. And that's everybody coming together, forced obviously, to pay taxes to build the shit that we need for our kids to be able to have a free education.
And then have an even better education if you can pay for it.
And you get a better education if you if you can pay for that institution.
But then there's America.
I'm just saying. Like
spending its
I think
way
it's
out
all
of its
crap.
deficit.
All of it. It's just crap.
If we lived in a
crap.
A lot of people love the idea of anarchy. People love the idea of anarchy, but if there's no structure to anarchy,
the idea of anarchy.
Right? They love the idea
We're
of
all
anarchy.
gonna die.
No, anarchy specifically. Well, eventually, but The idea of anarchy specifically is no rules, an eye for an eye, basically.
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
But if
Which
you
is
have,
hilarious. No rules.
but the one
But
rule
rules.
is
But the
eye.
rule is-
Exactly.
Rule.
It makes no sense. But anarchy is supposed to be everybody coexisting, no matter who you are, what you do, what your belief is. But don't do anything fucking shitty, or they're gonna do shitty for you.
I don't feel like that would work.
Basically,
It won't
just carry
because
your
it
own
can't.
weight.
It works
Have you
for
seen
it
a
works
group of children?
it
with no
works
rules?
for dolphins.
It does actually.
Dolphins
Does it
can
even
do
work
it.
for them, though?
Yeah,
I'm sure they have
like
their
they'll
own
exile and
underwater
beat the
rules.
shit out of a dolphin if that dolphin fucks up.
They're as smart as humans.
But how did they fuck up? Because they didn't follow the fucking
Yeah,
rules.
they have rules.
There's a guideline though.
They're
There's
like, hey, don't be a dick, dolphin. Don't be
Yeah.
a dolphin dick.
don't be
Yeah,
a dolphin
fuck
and
you.
don't be a fucking asshole, and we'll be completely cool with this. And then when you're an asshole, you're gonna get fucked over.
I
Yeah.
killed him on purpose.
How many times are we gonna have to teach you this lesson?
shut
old
your
man?
mouth.
On purpose.
Oh,
Look, it got worse.
It's warm in here. Yeah, I mean, the government specifically has always been all controlling in the way that they want to do things. No
But
matter-
you know what's anarchy right now? This fucking podcast.
Yeah, it is actually. We went from well, now I'm thinking I'm
We
just
try-
talking conspiracies.
We try structure, and then there's just no structure.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It just starts us off. That's all we need.
That's all we just go off on.
We spend 2 minutes on the actual topic, and then we're just like, hey,
Yeah.
fucking dolphins.
right. We
Dolphin
made it.
dicks.
We made it
Actually,
to dolphin,
dolphin
dicks
dicks.
in this episode, guys.
Not like the dick of a dolphin, but a dolphin that is a dick.
Yep, an asshole dolphin.
An ass dolphin.
Ass
Ass-
dolphin.
Asshole porpoise.
Aspen.
Aspen.
Like
But-
Colorado?
Dolphus.
Dolphins.
It's I'm afraid of this one. This one's probably gonna be like, you guys are assholes. John's an asshole.
You guys are all pieces of shit. You're all gonna die.
But like that's like
Freedom of speech.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, I think the system started out as a great idea,
Yeah.
and money just kind of blew up everything. And I mean, everything is just kind of fucked
Why
at
was-
this point.
why was Kennedy assassinated? Who got Kennedy
Because he
assassinated?
wanted to cross the road.
No, like
He
fucking for
wanted
real
to get
though.
to the other side.
No,
They
like-
just helped him out.
But like for real, he
Part of it.
him. Yeah, there was a lot of parts of him that were on his wife, and she grabbed the brain from the back
Yeah.
part of the goddamn trunk.
As fucked up as this is gonna sound, that's one of the most funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Is her running like straight?
Like, not the act of him getting shot and dying,
No, that's
but like her going, fuck brain!
because
You know what I mean?
here's the thing:
Fuck
he
brain.
wanted to
Yeah.
flip. He wanted to flip the fucking script about the U.S. government at that time.
Yeah.
And the CIA potentially, we don't know yet because the
Allegedly.
allegedly hired a person to shoot John F. Kennedy to make sure he was assassinated while he was driving through his home state. Was he from Texas? He was from Texas, wasn't
I think so.
I don't know, we can fact check. You have
Anyway,
a thing
I
that you
just- I
can
don't
use.
he? Anyway, he was
You
driving.
don't care about facts?
I care about facts.
How dare you, sir?
Where was
Trump over here.
JFK? Fake news. It's huge. It's not loading. That's stupid.
I got this. Continue with
Why
your
can't
thoughts.
people just be
I'll correct you
decent?
if I need to.
Why can't people be decent?
Why can't people just
That's-
be
that's
decent
all-
and carry their own weight?
That's all I'm asking. That's legitimately all I'm saying.
Because that's
They're
communism.
selfish.
You and I could live out here without any government whatsoever.
You could, but you still have to sign up for shit to be able to run the shit that you want to run.
John, you're a liar. He was born in Massachusetts.
It's Massachusetts, okay. He's from Massachusetts. I thought he was from Texas, personally.
Why? Because he's white?
Just I thought. That's what I always thought he was from Texas. But anyway,
Because he's a white Christian, huh, John?
no, he
Had
was
to be-
actually
And that's where they
Catholic.
make white Christians.
Had to be
It's
Like,
Texas.
he was actually Catholic, wasn't he? Wasn't he?
Isn't
like,
Catholicism the
Catholic?
original Christianity?
Not really.
History of the World, a great video.
The history of the sun is a dead
Hey,
razor.
We can make a religion out of that.
No, no more.
Judaism.
No more.
No, that's the part in
religions.
the video.
No, that's what.
It's the history of the world. He talks about different shit.
It's like.
And he's
20
like,
minutes long,
some
it's
dude
great.
in the Middle East, fucking da-da-da-da, died on a cross. Hey, we can make a religion out of that. And then moves on.
And then it moves on. It's fucking great. I love it. It's 20 minutes, and it's literally beginning of like the earth forming as molten rock, to like steam happening, life happening, and then evolution to like people and like religion and shit. It's great. It's funny as shit.
Yeah.
But like he got going back to JFK. JFK was specifically allegedly assassinated.
Got.
Yeah, pretty much because of his beliefs as a Catholic. That's one of the reasons. That and the Cuban thing that was happening at the
Missile
time,
crisis?
the missile crisis, and like the whole
And
arms
then zombies
race,
happened
and then the
while
start
he
of
was visiting Cuba.
yeah. But I mean, if he never got
Zombies?
assassinated, imagine
That
how
was
much
the
shit would
map
have
me and
changed.
Daniel were playing the other day. Was the Cuban Missile Crisis with JFK. You play as JFK killing zombies.
That's dope.
That's cool.
But
Good time.
any final thoughts?
Fuck the government.
Anarchy!
Anarchy in the UK,
Anarchy.
USA.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, just put yourself aside, help out someone else, and it's gonna come back to you if everyone helps each other out. We're all gonna end up helping each other out.
Don't be a dick.
That's kind of what it boils down to: is don't be an asshole.
D-bad.
Did you make an acronym?
I
Yeah, you did.
The bad.
Or D-bad. Yeah, sure.
What did you say?
D-bad.
D-bad.
The bad.
Don't be a
Don't
dick.
be a dick.
Yeah, the bad.
Debad.
The bad.
That sounds like a Middle
Sounds
Eastern
like
country.
that sounds like the beginning of a stutter.
D-
No, that sounds like a Middle Eastern country,
I
like
do
straight
stutter.
up.
Debate.
Thank you. I
Or a
stuttered
name.
really bad
See, now you're just being racist and
I'm not.
culturally insensitive. John.
Fuck you. And
Right?
you're-
Wow, fucking because he's white and Christian.
Yeah.
He's not even. How is he's not? He's the furthest from Christian.
I am
You're
if I
just a
run
white
for
Christian
office.
hater?
By the way, guys,
So fuck Austin.
hail Satan! I'm out this bitch. I won.
One motherfucker. About.
I would laugh my. Okay, final thought for
Final
me.
slot?
Final slot. Slit slot.
Slut.
Thought. Yeah. About that is that I think it would be fucking hilarious if someone went through their whole entire thing acting as if they were an acting Christian, and then right when they got voted into office as a president, it just drops a huge Baphomet picture behind them.
That would be sick as fuck.
And he's like, by the way, bitches, hail Satan.
Does he address the people as bitches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just like fucking, it'll be like Idiocracy.
He's like, I'm out. I didn't get reelected. Deuces.
I'm gonna do my 4 years, and then just be gone.
Confetti.
And then, yep, exactly.
Your rule is not mine.
Confetti.
Confetti.
Glitter everywhere.
You knew you were gonna win because you got all you checked all the shit, and then they're just like, "Do we have the confetti cannons ready? Do we have the confetti? Do you have the confetti cannons ready?
Glitter balloons everywhere.
I want this to be fucking sparkly."
I fucking hate glitter.
And
If
then-
that is one thing that would piss me off, is fucking glitter.
Imagine
I would be
raining down
so
glitter
enraged.
upon everybody gathered in Washington, D.C.
I would be so enraged.
How does that
Expensive that would be.
But that would be worth it.
Heather doesn't want to deal
Because
with
I'd be
any
like,
politics, but
I'm
she's
out.
gonna
I
be
got
the
my
person.
4 years. I get my salary to the day I die. I can afford this.
Right.
I spend my salary on this.
Hannah's like, I know that this isn't going to be a good idea, but you're going to do it anyway, so fuck it. She's part of the media team. Austin's going to be like the possibly the VP. Daniel's in the background making. Miles is in the background making all the fucking like music.
Somebody fucked
That's
up.
Daniel.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Sounds like a dick.
No, we've introduced
does.
him as
Oh,
well.
we have,
D-bad.
but like
Demise.
there's like the music, and you're making a remix of the fucking the president's like march music, March of the President. That shit would be hilarious, and then fucking boom.
Baphomet and
So how
confetti.
about Trump not being able to close his umbrella? That was fucking funny.
He couldn't close an umbrella?
You didn't see that?
Nuh-uh.
No?
He was walking up to Air Force One, and like the umbrella wasn't closing, so he just left it at the door and walked. in.
Seriously? He can't do a task a 2-year-old can?
So he's not a smart man. I mean,
Guaranteed.
he's smart in some other ways, but he's
Give
not a
me
smart
like 10
man.
minutes with my nephew. He can close an umbrella.
One cool thing, speaking of umbrellas, is that if you buy
They created zombies.
if you buy a Rolls Royce Phantom, specifically, it comes with an umbrella in the back door, so that
So you can spend fucking thousands and thousands of dollars on this really nice, expensive car, and they're like, hey, here's an umbrella.
it's because like if you're super rich and you're
That's-
gonna have a chauffeur,
There's no
They-
fanfare, man.
they like open it, they pop a button, they pull it out, they get it ready, and they hand it to you.
What you could also do
I
buy a
want a
regular
bottle.
fucking car and keep an umbrella in a little fucking pouch in your backseat.
Yeah, but I mean, this is for the extravagant. This is for the people who are living extravagantly.
Oh, Jeeves!
Yeah,
Get
pretty
the
much.
umbrella!
Why is it automatically Jeeves?
Because I like that name.
And when I think of a person who's being a chauffeur, I think of a
Alfred.
British dude.
Oh, Hans.
No.
That's the male version
He's
of
not
my
a
name,
superhero.
Hans.
Hans.
Alfred's not a super. I don't know, but Alfred.
No, neither is Batman.
Yeah, technically.
But in the
There's
end,
nothing super about him
the government doesn't give a fuck about
except
us.
his bank account.
No, they
All they
don't.
give a fuck about is the dollar sign.
Yeah.
Dollar sign.
Because the government, America is not a country, it's a business. Now fucking pay me is my favorite goddamn line I've heard from any movie, quote, song, whatever. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it's true.
Well,
Same thing for any place you work too.
But yeah,
well, this is episode 3. Thanks for tuning in.
Howie,
Howie, bye.
Austin's out, bitches.
John, later. I got heated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your pits say so too.
I know.
Hail Satan.